So I was once asked, is my job stressful? Thought that was a good question. What's up, everybody? My name is Kat, and I am the owner of Superior Medical Consulting, where we provide superior medical billing solutions for your private practice. If you are in the need of a biller or a consultant for your private practice, please feel free to visit our website. It is superiormedicalconsulting.com, and you can schedule your free consultation there today. So in this video, I am going to attempt to answer the question, is medical billing and coding stressful? And I'm gonna be honest, it's a job. Jobs in general are stressful. It's not to say that it's not enjoyable, but it's a job. You have deadlines, you have productivity standards, you have rules and regulations that you have to follow. You also impact other departments, and so all of that stuff is stressful. Now, is it so stressful that you can't manage it? Is it like bad stress? I wouldn't say that it's bad stress. I would just say that if you have to be well organized. And if you are a person that can keep up with, figure out your processes and your flow of organization, then you will be okay in, doing medical billing or medical coding. But if you are a person that is kind of, for lack of a better term, scattered brain, if you can't keep up with, like all your emails and phone calls, follow-ups, if you don't like to research, if you like to put off hard things to the last minute, if you don't like deadlines, if you don't like productivity standards, then it would be stressful for you because, different coding departments, different jobs, different entities, they all have their own, different criteria that they want their coders and billers to meet. But the one thing that is consistent amongst all of us is that we all have to follow CMS's, governance. We also have to follow, insurance payer, rules. We also have to follow coding and billing guidelines. So all billers and coders, those three things we all have in common. Like we all have to, bill and code according to the coding guidelines. We all have to pay attention to what CMS, regulations is talking about, as far as modifiers and CPT codes and medical necessity and MUEs and yada yada yada. And then we all have to, adhere to the the payer's policies in order to get your claim paid. Like they want stuff a certain way. And so, yeah, so keeping up with all of that stuff can get a little overwhelming. It can be a lot to remember at times. It can take a little creativity and thinking outside the box sometimes in order for, you to understand and paint the full picture of the patient's conditions to the insurance company. Sometimes it does take, some critical thinking in order to, play within the rules of the government and the payer policies and the coding guidelines. So, in that aspect, it can be a little bit stressful. And I'm talking about just in general. Now, if you are a W-2 employee and you work for an entity, they may have their own facility policies that you also will have to follow. Some that I have to follow in the facility, the health system that I work at, is we have a turnaround time. So we are required to make sure that our claims are out the door within 5 days from the time that they are dropped. So if they are dropped in my queue today, I have 5 days from today to work that claim to completion and to get it out the door. Also, we have a 3-day turnaround time for emails. So if someone emails me with a question or need clarifying or need me to rework a claim, I have 72 hours from the time that they sent me that email in order to address that email. I also have a per hour claims productivity measure that I have to, uphold or I have to abide by. So in my facility, we are required to code 10 to 15 claims per hour, and this is for outpatient coding. And in order to stay within productivity standards. So I have to make sure that every hour I'm getting my 10 to 15 claims out the door. You also have to make sure that you keep your CEUs up. If you are a credentialed professional, you will have CEUs that you will have to keep up. So you need to, it's stressful trying to find all the CEUs for a low cost or for free if you're not willing to pay for CEUs. You also have to make sure that you meet that demand every year, every 2 years, in order to keep your credential in good standing. You also have the added stress of, hold on, that was my doorbell, my bad. You also have the added stress of maintaining your credential by paying your dues. And that's if you don't have a position with a job that offers, that they pay it for you. So you have that added stress, I guess. So all in all, I say the stress is minimum compared to a lot of other jobs. It's not like when you first learn about coding and billing, they talk about all these fines and like fraud and abuse and waste and stuff like that. I rarely hear of anybody that has endured that, but this is so ghetto. But I rarely found anybody that has endured that. But it's possible if you are fraudulently, billing something or upcoding or unbundling, you can, have consequences for that. The good thing about it is usually when you work for a healthcare system, if you are going through their compliance teams and your management is, good, you would at least, have reports that catches things like that, and corrective action can be taken to help you stop that behavior, and so that you won't get in trouble, so that's just some of the things. I don't know from this video if you feel like it's stressful. I would love to hear your opinion. Let me know in the comments from what I've told you and from things that you've heard from other people. Do you think medical billing and coding is stressful? Hopefully this video helped alleviate some of the fears that you will have. I've enjoyed going to work every single day. Even on days when I'm just not feeling up to it, I don't mind doing it because it's a profession that I love. I really enjoy coding. I really enjoy the independence as well as the teamwork. Is one of the few professions that, I have ever been in that I can say that you equally independent as you are working with the team. What you do affects every other department in the healthcare system, and you pretty much work independently because most coders hone in on a specialty and everybody code their own specialty, and you probably will have a backup, but you won't necessarily have a coder that codes exactly like you. And so you kind of have your own little niche that you focus on, and that's just your baby, and you learn as much as you can about that, and you stay in tune with that. The good thing about coding and billing is usually, you find your little niche, and then you, like I said, you hone in on that and you become the expert at it. So it becomes easier because it's repetitive. You do it every day. You pretty much work with the same code sets every day, day in and day out. You learn those code sets. You learn the keywords to look for. You learn the modifiers that's typically used in that clinic. You learn, like the sequencing rules and, the medical necessity rules. You learn some of your NCDs and your LCDs just because you deal with it the same day. So in the beginning, it's harder because you are probably not familiar with that. You haven't been exposed to it, but throughout your career, it becomes like cake. It becomes easy. It becomes sweet. It becomes familiar. You become the expert. You get smarter. You get wiser. You start to see things differently. So I hope this video helps you. Again, I hope it eased your mind about the stresses that you may feel like medical billing and coding has, because there really isn't none if you do these things anyway. I hope you take a look at some of my other videos. I'm going to leave the little links over here, and I hope that you subscribe and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if you have any other suggestions. You want to hear my thoughts or opinions on anything else, I would be happy to share with you. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.